and welcome back to Novelty with S&B, the book club with a podcast. I'm your co-host, Bekk.
And I'm Stephanie.
This is the month of fantasy romance. Do you want to tell me what you read this month?
Yeah, for sure. I read A Court This Cruel and Lovely by Stasia Stark, Ask for Andrea by Noelle W. Ely. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, I think so.
The Ever King, which was our read with S&B, and that was by L.J. Andrews, and The Fabric of Our Souls by K.M. Morenova. And what did you read?
I read Crimson Promises by Joycelyn Bleh, Paladin's Hope, Paladin's Faith, both by T. Kingfisher, and The Ever King by L.J. Andrews.
Nice.
Didn't you read something by Stasia Stark last month?
No.
Oh no, you were just telling us that you were reading it. That's right.
Yeah, it was the book I was currently reading. So, A Court This Cruel and Lovely. It's a romantasy, 562 pages. I started reading it on December 21st and I finished it January 9th, and I read it on KU. So if anybody wants to read it on KU, it's there. So the summary is, for years, when I fell asleep, I dreamed of a man with blazing green eyes and a cruel smile. The day I met him, the ruthless mercenary leaves me for dead. Just hours after humans are born, the gods take what little power we have. In return, they protect our borders from the vicious, merciless Fae. The humans who manage to keep their power are known as the corrupt, and they are burned. When my forbidden power is discovered, I'm forced to flee my tiny village and the life I adore. To survive, I make a desperate bargain with the mercenary who abandoned me at my weakest. Our deal is simple. I'll help him and his mysterious friend sneak into the city, and he'll help me learn to wield the strange, dark power I've always kept hidden. The power that may just be the key to my survival. But the ruthless mercenary is hiding secrets of his own, secrets that threaten the safety of everyone I love, secrets that could tear this kingdom and perhaps even this world apart. So, yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed the magic system and the world building, and the story was all just really fun. There's a lot of interesting things going on in the world. I don't know if this was done like purposefully, but I could see a lot of like similarities between our world and that world when it comes to like the elite versus the the normies or the commoners. If you traded magic with money, it's pretty much like very similar to our world. You would have to, I don't want to give a lot away because there's a lot of neat things in this book with magic and the rich kind of using it to their advantage, and there's just, the story goes off into so many places. It's good. It's just I don't want to give anything away because there's a lot of not so much twists as like, oh, like you're kind of wondering like, well, why is it like this? And then you're like, oh, because you find out. So I guess that's not really a twist, but it's just revealed. Like surprises. Yeah, for sure. So it's a slow burn romance. So there wasn't any real spice in the first half of the book, which I was okay with. So I love a good enemies to lovers with a slow burn because they're enemies.
Right.
So it shouldn't be like chapter 2. It is with romance. It's always a bit corny. And it was, but it didn't take away from the story or anything. And I was rooting for them the whole time. So they were written well. And I think it was a pretty good story. I'm in a difficult position. So I liked the book and I liked it well, and I want to know what happens, right? Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
But do I, so it's a long series. So like, do I really want to dedicate the time for another 1,500 plus pages in the series to find out? I don't know. So sometimes I read a book and I'm like, I want the next one. Like I want to know, like
right away.
And I want to know, but like, it's daunting to think of. Instead of being like, I don't even care how long it is, I'm thinking of how long it is, and that's where I'm like, shit, I don't know if I really want to. I don't know, so I'm gonna let it simmer for a minute.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I do want to know, and I probably, if I get into like a slump where I can't find anything, like I don't know what I want, then I'll probably move on to the next one, sure. But it's not something I'm gonna get into immediately. So I gave it 3 stars,
okay.
And 2.5 chili peppers. It really wasn't that spicy. She does say as the series goes on, it gets spicier. So the more books you read, the more spice you're going to get. 2 eye rolls because, it's romance is sometimes just like,
but there's nothing specific that like.
No, there's just some corny things, like corny just the things they say. I didn't write any quotes down, but
some of the language.
Yeah, I was just
Okay.
like, okay, like too much. Like, calm down. Just calm
Just chill
down.
out.
Yeah, chill out. No, but to as far as recommending it goes, sure, if you love romantasy and you are a fan of like a really long series, yeah, read it. It's I don't really have any big dislikes, but it was, as we have said in the past, it needed some Old Bay. So there was
something missing.
And like I may find that something in the next book, but I don't know. And I think maybe that's why I'm not, because I liked it.
Right.
It was good, but I wasn't like floored where like, oh god, what happens next? Like,
yeah, like some of the other ones.
But yeah.
Like,
yeah, so
what is that? The Serpent and the Wings of Night or whatever. That one was definitely one of those that, like, yeah.
I didn't have any in between.
You need to consume the next one as soon as possible.
Yeah, I was definitely like that. So, I don't know. We'll see, but you will know if I read it again.
Yeah, that's true.
So, or if I read the next one in the series. So, what are you going to talk about first?
So yeah, the first book I read this month was Crimson Promises. It was a advanced reader copy that I got from Book Sirens. So thank you, Book Sirens, for that. It is by Joycelyn Bleu. I'm going to say it that way because it looks French, but I'm pretty sure it's blue. It is 570 pages. We read some really, really big boys this month.
We sure did. Mm-hmm.
Every month that I'm like, I didn't read this much this month. I feel, and then I look back, count. Like, oh, you know what? Fine. Actually, yeah,
yeah, that is a big one.
I started this on December 27th, 2023, and I ended it on January 5th. The plot summary is that it tells the story of Aurora James, a young woman with a gift, and Bennett Callum, a fallen angel seeking revenge. The two characters are drawn to each other despite their differences and the secrets that they keep. Okay. So I wrote as short of a synopsis as I possibly could because as I get into the evaluation, it'll make a little more sense because the book did not make sense whatsoever.
Oof.
So I do want to first preface this with, I am not an English professor. I do not have a wide knowledge of grammar or literary devices. I understand that some people do read for fun and just vibe with a book, and I don't ever want to come across as overly harsh or critical. All I'm going to say is something that I took personally from the book, and I would personally want to know before I started reading a book. That's what reviews are for, right? Like, I want to know what's going on, how well written, like, if it makes sense. So, with all that being said, this book had a lot of potentials. I liked the premise of the story of fallen angels and God and hell and the devil and all of that. That's really cool to me. I love like biblical lore. It's super cool. However, none of the characters were consistent. Ben was supposed to be like this vengeful and ruthless angel, but he was easily fooled by like basically everybody and manipulated by like the obvious secrets around him. Aurora is supposed to be this like shy and lonely girl who prefers to, she's not like other girls.
Of course.
I just tucked my hair behind my ear just so everybody knows.
Yeah.
But then like she acted like a confident and popular, like she was the coolest girl in the world. But she also had like no loyalty or common sense whatsoever. And she made so many stupid choices that I almost gave up like halfway through the book. Oof. She's one of those that is like too dumb to live, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Also, a really big ick is that the main character, Ben, is supposed to be like her guardian angel and has been watching over her since literally she was born.
Oh.
And then he starts developing feelings for her like that. No, thank you.
Yeah, it's kind of gross.
And then, so as far as like the plot goes, it was also very poorly executed. The last third of the book could have been a completely different book altogether. It was all rushed and illogical. The last third completely ruined any romance that was between Ben and Aurora for me personally.
Oh, wow.
Like, it feels like the author tried to create some like drama and suspense, but it just like backfired. And then she was constantly in like a love triangle. She was first she started dating a quarterback, and like I don't understand why that was part of the book anyway. Like, why did this quarterback have any sort of interest in a girl that works at the library? And like, I don't know. And then and then later on with another character that I don't want to spoil. Whatever. But the book also had like some obviously grammatical errors and inconsistencies that I feel like would have been fixed by an editor. But
okay. Well, yeah, and then when you're not like enjoying the book, that stuff just seems to stand out more. I mean, I've overlooked like
yeah, there's a lot of like authors I would probably overlook some of like, oh, who is she is she or she is he or what? But then like this is just
ooh.
Big oof. But that being said, I did rate it 3 stars on Goodreads, but I think I'm gonna lean like 2.5 because like I don't want because somebody out there might enjoy this, right? They might think it's so I don't want like
to discourage people from reading it.
Exactly. But with that being said, like 3 or 4 eye rolls, 2 spice. It was still a lot better than Awkward in October, so that also is why I bumped up the rating a little bit.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, you can read it if you have like 570 pages worth of reading in you. But I also feel like I should mention I mention webtoons a lot, but The Devil is a Handsome Man by Hello, This is Angle is a great like. The devil is in it, and it's like this cool like hierarchy of hell, basically. Really cool, but it has been on hiatus since 2019. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh well, that kind of.
I really liked it.
Yeah, that kind of sucks though that the book fell because it does sound cool.
Yeah, like
is this like a first? Like is this her first book?
Yes.
Or it is okay. Mm-hmm. Well,
and like
I don't
I've
want that
said
to discourage her.
Yeah,
it happens. I mean, it's your first one.
Yeah, and like I've said before, I think when new authors get too like overzealous and try to write something that's 570 pages, like you could have made that into 3 books and it would have been fine. Like
right.
And I believe. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say like you had this intro where you didn't want to like offend, but. If I think this is good feedback, so she knows, especially if she's brand new, like
right, yeah,
this is what arcs are for. So yeah,
if I was an author, this is the things that I would want to know for sure. Like, Absolutely. Oh shit, like okay, this maybe I should change this little part to make more sense, or maybe I should just get rid of the quarterback. Like, just cut him out.
Yeah.
I don't even remember his name.
I mean, there you go. So, okay, well, that's you win some, you lose some, but she has room to grow and she's brand new.
Yeah, and I think this is book 1 of 2, so maybe 2.
I was going to ask that. It's a series. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool.
It did end on a cliffhanger, I should say, too. So like you kind of need to know what comes next too.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so
what's next for you?
Yeah, it's Ask for Andrea by Noelle W. Ely, and it's a thriller, and it's like a paranormal thriller. Okay, it's 272 pages. I started it on January 9th and ended it January 15th, and it's KU as always. No, most of the time, anyways.
Well, yeah, you pay for the service, you might as well get the most out of it.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah.
So, the premise is James Carson has gotten away with murder 3 times. The only thing that might stop him from killing again, the 3 women he murdered. He hunted them online, masquerading as an eligible bachelor. Then he played the perfect gentleman, a thick layer of charm and a 1,000-watt smile, hiding the fact that his first dates end in shallow graves. What James doesn't know is that his 3 victims have found each other, and they're coming after him. Brescia, Megan, and Sky, I think it's Brescia, that's how I said it, might be dead, but they're not gone. And they won't rest until they find a way to keep him from killing again. The haunt is on.
Oh.
Okay. It was fun. So this was very different from anything I have read before, especially recently. It was, so I came across it. I'm like, ooh, that kind of sounds interesting. And it's something I might have saved and then, maybe one day.
Mm-hmm.
But one of my reading goals was to explore different genres. So I was like,
Mhm.
you know what? I'm gonna read it. It's not that long. I mean, it's like, what's 272 pages, so it's not bad.
Not
So I was
bad.
like, I'm gonna go for it. So overall, it's a really intriguing and sad story. There's a lot of perspectives in this book. So you have the three girls. It's like their perspectives pretty much the whole time. And you find out about each of their deaths. You find about how they realized when they realized they were ghosts. It's so, and the ghost part was written so well. It wasn't like people, you hear ghosts and you think like, ooh, like no, like it was written. I mean, obviously, but it was
like
written
some
like
Scooby-Doo shit.
Yeah, it was written so well, and like the way they realized they were dead. Oh my god, that was amazing. Sad story, sad though. So some people complain about the different perspectives being confusing. I didn't get confused. I don't know if it was just because I was really into like each of their stories on what happened that like I kind of I don't know. I didn't get confused. I knew who they were the whole time. It would jump from one person to another. And even with all that, it still wasn't a confusing. It does go back and forth, like 1 year before current. But for as many times as they did that, and the way I am, I'm honestly surprised I didn't get lost. I think I was just into the story. That I don't know. It didn't lose me at all. But I guess some people found that difficult to keep up with. Whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
But the only things. Okay, so he was married, and you find that out, and that's not a spoiler, right?
Okay.
But his wife like doesn't know. I and I've seen this in real life things. It's like, how do you not know? Like,
yeah.
how do you not know? And I mean, it does get into like her story a little bit, and you learn more about her, whatever. But like, I can never understand that. But I mean, that's also a thing that happens in real life. Like, how do you not know? But I don't know. The one thing or another thing that I didn't really like, it's like, the book isn't very long, and I get that, but it's like he just decided to murder a girl, and then another, like one day, like random, and you get like a really little crumb from his past of like the why, perhaps of why he's doing this, but it's like it's a crumb, like a pink that happened. So maybe, I would have liked to know more about him, what led to this, a little bit more of his backstory. Is it something he's wanted to do for a long time? Is it, what I mean? It was just weird because it was like. It just seemed like
and you get
one day.
You get his POV often?
No.
Oh, okay.
But that's what I was going to say. On that note, it may be because the story wasn't about him or for him. It was supposed to be for the victims.
Yeah, fuck him.
So I think that might be why. I gave it 3 stars only because I wish it was a little longer. I think I think it could have been a lot longer. That's just personal opinion. It was a good story though. I enjoyed it. No spice, no eye rolls. I liked the girls were good, and they well, I can't give anything away, but it was a good book. So it was a really unique thriller, and I say it is worth the read if you're into that genre. Yeah, and the paranormal aspect is really cool. I know some people who are into like mysteries and thrillers and things like that get turned off by the paranormal aspect, but with this book you should give it a try because it's the way it was written is it's well written. I really did love the way the author just told the story of the afterlife of these 3 girls. I mean, they're telling you, and it was interesting, and it wasn't like spooky or you know what I mean. It was just how they deal with it. They don't sleep anymore. They're just alone with their thoughts and how they get through this, and they want someone to find their body, and they're like one girl stays with her body because she literally talks about watching birds come and pet. Oh god. Yeah, it's not there's a little bit of gore or murder. Yeah, but it's nothing bad at all. Like, no, it's not horror.
I mean, compared to what you've read.
I think even in general. I mean, if there's murder in the book, you know there's going to be, but
Yeah, there's
not
gonna be
like the
something.
slasher book I read the other,
Yeah,
not
right.
like that. It's in there, but it's not in detail or anything disgusting, but
It's
it
just,
does make you, and like it's not so much ew as like you just feel for her. You
Yeah,
get
it's like,
more of a, you're
oh,
reading it and you're like, oh my god, and you just feel for the girl. You don't like,
yeah.
ew, oh my god, like you're not like that. So
I did see this a lot on TikTok, or I guess the book community in general, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
yeah,
I saw a lot of people reading this. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I came across it. And I was like, oh, that kind of sounds interesting. And like I said, I'd usually just kind of, maybe. But I was like, you know what? I said I'd do this this year, so I'm going to do it. So yeah.
Right.
That's why I read it. But it ended up being really good. And it's not too long. And it's on Kindle. So I
Go
do
read
recommend
it.
Go read it. It's good times. It's good stuff. Well, it's not really good times, but
I mean, if it's something that you enjoy reading, though, it kind of can be. Yeah.
Yeah. It was good. I liked it.
So is there like a mystery like aspect to it, or is it more just like, you know what's going on, you're just trying to stop him?
Yeah, kind of like that.
Oh,
more.
okay.
Yeah. I said mystery. I guess it wasn't really.
No. I think you said thriller, but I just wanted to know if there was like.
No, there's not. No, there's really no mystery to it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there is, not from our perspective. Does that make sense?
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like you hear from parents, and because they go home. Some of them, like one of the girls goes home, and it's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
But it was good. So yeah, good story. Yeah. So what do you got next?
So
our girl.
I read 2 by T. Kingfisher this month. Both of the Saint of Steel series. So basically I wanted to read the 3rd one so I could read the 4th one. I will say though that they are standalone books, so you can read them individually. You just won't necessarily know, like, for example, the first book has a lot of beheadings, right?
Right.
The second book, you figure out what's happening with those beheadings. But, like, if you don't want to read the second book, you don't have to. Like, the story is complete in the first book.
Okay.
So, I didn't have to read the 3rd book, but I'm glad I did, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, it is called Paladin's Hope by T. Kingfisher. It is 300 pages. It is on Spotify, so if you have premium Spotify, you do get 15 hours of free audiobooks a month. I believe this was just under 9, maybe. So that's how I listened to it. I began it on January 9th. I ended it on January 11th, because when you're listening at work, it goes by so much faster.
Yeah.
It is set in the fantasy world of the White Rat, where a god has died and his paladins are struggling to find their place. The main characters are Piper, a lich doctor who examines corpses for the city guard, and Galen, a paladin of the said dead god, who is haunted by his past. There's also a gnoll called Earstripe. He enlists them to investigate a murder mystery. These bodies keep floating up the river, and they're not entirely sure what's killing them. That leads them into dark secrets of the Ancient Ones. So, I'm going to read my text to you. Oh my god. 1, I forgot how much I love T. Kingfisher's writing. 2, the end scenes aren't as bad as I was anticipating. 3, the ending? Oh my god. So,
yeah.
Like I said, it is a male pairing, so that is what put me off to begin with reading this book. I was telling you earlier that T. Kingfisher is probably the only person I'm ever going to read a gay pairing with, because she's our girl. Of course we're going to.
Yeah.
She has such a way of writing and like witty and engaging that her books are just generally a delight to read. And then like the world of the White Rat in general, because you've read Paladin's Grace.
Yes.
So just I love all of the different gods, what they do. Like there's saints, there's all these fun and then different beings, I guess, because there's not all human. have different gods. So that is just so cool. I know I say so a lot, but that's how I talk when I'm passionate. So learning more about the worlds that these are partaken was really great. The plot was also well paced and suspenseful enough that you kept reading. The twists and turns that keep the reader guessing, and the payoff of what was creating the bodies was just chef's kiss. Amazing. Love it.
Nice.
100%. Yeah. And I love gnolls. They're so cute. And the way they speak and stuff.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, it is a gay pairing, but I didn't struggle as much as I thought I was going to. And that might be because some of the scenes are brief or they happen off screen, I guess, off page. So like you get like, we messed up the sheets, but you don't get like the deep pebbled nibbles that we were speaking about earlier.
Yeah. No nipples pebbling.
Yeah. And the romance didn't feel like, you're gay, I'm gay, we should fall in love.
Yeah.
Which I always worry about.
Yeah, and I just want like people to know we have nothing against.
No.
It's just
I'm not a gay man, so I feel
it's hard
out of place in that area. Yeah,
for sure. And like I just I'm not against it. I'm not, but I don't want people to be like, oh, because it's not that at all. It's just hard to like relate in any way when that's a part of the story. I mean, so I don't want people to like
think we're There's also that feeling of like, I don't belong here, kind of like, this isn't for me,
like I'm invading their privacy. No,
kind
but
of.
It's not like written for you, right?
That's kind of what put me off of reading it in the first place, is that like this is a area that is not meant for me, basically.
Yeah. I just don't want people to get the wrong idea, because like
I know,
I love all people. I don't care who you are, who to go to bed with.
Exactly.
I couldn't care less. So like I just don't want people to get the wrong idea. But yeah, I'm the same. I haven't read any mail books or anything like that. I mean, if one, I read it's intriguing enough, sure, but it I don't feel like I'm I'm not the correct audience.
The target audience, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, like in a lot of these books, I'm more intrigued with the plot line anyway, instead of what the romance is. So like I want to know like the mechanism of all of these like buildings that they're stuck in. That is why I kept reading, is because I want to know what like the payoff is, basically.
Yeah. That was just a scene.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
And cool. Like feelings are involved. Like you're going to be in like forced proximity. So yeah, of course, like you're going to develop feelings. And I that's what I like about T. Kingfisher, is that it's not necessarily that it's the forefront of the story, but it happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah. She writes so well.
She does.
Yeah, I'm reading
What Moves the Dead?
Moves the Dead right now, and it's just like, it's like I missed her.
That's like, what
it's weird.
That's
weird.
What
like, I start reading her book and I'm like, this is her. Like, it's just different than anybody else.
There's like this unique way that she, even like the words she chooses, you know what I mean? Like wool gathering. Who uses the term wool gathering in a book?
She does.
I know.
Because she's amazing. I love her. Yeah, I love her writing style. People need to go read something.
Yeah.
The Hollow Places is my favorite. That's on KU now, right? Or no? I keep thinking that one's on KU. It is. Mm-hmm. Everyone should read that.
Every single person, please. Yes. Even like my coworkers, I I recommend it to. And like, it's hard to be like, oh no, it's not on Kindle Unlimited anymore. I'm looking right now. That's a bummer. It was recently.
Oh no, maybe it was one of those days.
It could have been.
It's so good though. It's worth
It's worth $10.
And I will tell you, I found it at my library, and I live in a small town.
Right. Yes. Also,
so
yes.
check your library too. You don't have to go. I get times are tough and everything's expensive, but check your library because I borrowed it from the library for free.
The next time we do a giveaway, we should just give away the Hollow Places.
We should make them read it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Next is our Read with S&B.
Yes.
Awesome. So, The Ever King by L.J. Andrews, and it's a fantasy romance.
Mm-hmm.
You started it on the 5th of January and ended the 13th. And then
Mm-hmm.
I started it the 15th of January.
Oh, we were only 2 days apart.
Yeah, and ended the 21st of January. And I read my copy on KU.
Yes, me too.
The Ever King is a fantasy romance and is the first installment in the Everseas series by author L.J. Andrews. For years, Eric Bloodsinger, the scarred king of the Ever Kingdom, has thought of nothing but vengeance against the man who killed his father and trapped him beneath the waves, making him a prisoner of his own realm. Until his enemy's daughter unintentionally breaks the chains on the Ever, and Eric makes her the unwitting pawn in his vicious game of revenge. The book is set in the same world as the best-selling Broken Kingdom series, but can be read independently. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
A little extra tidbit.
It is, because I read the Broken Kingdom series last year. So
okay.
I was familiar with who the father of, what's her face? Livia, right? That's her name?
Yeah, Livia, yeah.
So I was familiar with like her parents' backstory before I started reading this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that good?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Vikings?
Cool.
Come on.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. Sorry, go ahead.
Want to read.
Yes.
So I think I liked it well enough. It was written in an engaging way, and a Morley Gray MMC is always fun. I did find the female main character a little wishy-washy for my liking, and like her morals, and I suppose it makes sense in like the events that happen, like the thing, the thing.
Yeah. Okay.
And I did find some plot points to be a little confusing, but we can talk more about that in like the after show.
Oh yeah, for sure. So this is a series for me that I will read the next one. So I really loved the different Fey worlds. I thought it was freaking cool, and I liked the pirate like stuff. I didn't know I was gonna enjoy that.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh god, pirates. And then
Pirates
I'm like,
of the Caribbean. Oh
yeah, like
yeah.
I'm picturing Johnny Depp, and it's not that.
No,
the
it's not.
sea fae aspect was really cool for me. I liked the way. What was
their fury?
The sirens and all that shit. Yeah. I just thought it was just.
I will say
all
I like
that shit
that
was
too.
so cool.
Like
I loved it. I'm reading it. I'm like, this is so rad. Or the guys that sing his song.
Yeah, he was a siren, I think, right?
Yeah. And what?
I do like how she like intertwined siren folklore into how these Fae use their magic. That was really cool.
Yeah. So I just there's just I don't know. There's so much going on, but it was fun, and I loved it. The slow burn was brilliant in my opinion.
Yes,
I felt like I was being edged.
So did she.
There were so many times where it was like, okay,
please, now, no,
I know. And it was like,
now? No?
When I wrote this, I thought of the song. Because I literally wrote, I love it and I hate it at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
I love it and I hate it. Yeah, so that's what I thought of when I wrote that. Anyways,
exactly.
I thought this book was really fun. And there's just so many spectacular things happening. There was one event in particular that I was surprised by, maybe even a tad disappointed. But I will get into that in our spoiler full after show as well.
Yes.
So what's your reckon rating?
So rated it 3.5. That's just because the book that I read previously was 4 and I didn't want to insinuate that they're on the same level. But I mean, it was a good book. So it was like 2 spice, right? Like,
yeah, I gave it 2.
Yeah. And only like 1 eye roll because the female main character.
Yeah, the naivety.
Yeah.
I gave it 4 stars. I really liked it. 2 spice and 1 eye roll. She's, they always gotta have
They gotta have
a
something.
little too naive. Like,
well, she was like
little.
18, right?
She was a baby, so I get it.
Yeah.
But it's like, dang. But it's like sometimes you're just like,
come on.
Come on. But I liked her. I mean, it wasn't like a character I didn't enjoy
No.
reading. I did, and I liked him a lot.
She was no Aurora, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. But Bloodsinger, he's
oh
cool.
my god, his scars. Oh my god,
I love him.
Oh, me
I love
too.
him so much.
And like, I'm sorry, he had olive skin, brown eyes, and dark hair. I'm sorry. Is that Austin Matthews? Because it's Austin Matthews.
It is a little bit. Is that who you saw? That's who you saw.
That's who I always see.
Always see.
Let's be honest. Unless they're like blonde.
Yeah, and then you just pretend they're not.
Yep.
But yeah, he I liked him. Eric Bloodsinger.
I liked him too. His little quirky remarks of like just sass. He was just sassy.
Yeah. He was very sassy.
I loved him.
Loved it. Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna get into The Fabric of Our Souls by K.M. Morenova. I have read other books by her. We read books 1 and 2, God of Wrath and Lies, and the other one
of Sleep and Death or something.
That's the last one.
Oh,
or maybe no. Maybe it's not.
I don't know. They're good books.
Death and Rest.
They're good books. We just can't remember their names.
No, and they are good. I do want to read. I'm going to read the third.
Yeah, we have to.
I said it.
Yeah,
I really did like the first 2. It's been a while. No hate to you.
No.
KM
Morenova.
You're amazing. But it's just been a while. Anyways, this is a dark romance, 292 pages. I started it the 21st of January and ended it on the 25th of January, and I read it on KU, which I did not know it was there.
Yeah,
and it is.
It is
so excited because it's all over Book Talk. So.
Oh, that's good. She deserves that.
Yeah, she's great. So it says the summary. I am 26 years old and I want to die. So when I wake up at the hospital with my brother weeping over me, I know my life is about to change. What I didn't expect was to get a nurse with cruel eyes and a morbid sense of humor that surpasses my own. I'm even more surprised when I arrive at Harlow Sanctum and realize that my brother selected an unorthodox rehabilitation center that rooms people based on their treatment plan. And my roommate is none other than the man with the cruel eyes that I met a day prior. I crave death, he craves life. Can 2 people like us cure each other? That doesn't even do it justice. But
dude.
It's like a mental institution love story. So it is sad. And I am going to tell you, please check triggers. If you've had mental health issues in the past, this might be difficult for you. Please. And she even writes in the beginning, like, yo, like, be careful. Tread lightly, especially if you've had issues, because it's pretty it's dark. And it's a lot to unpack. So
is she okay? Do we need to check on her?
I'll get into that in a second.
Okay.
So I found our main character, Win, was written very, very well. So if you have ever battled any mental health issues, you will understand her thought process with conflicts completely. Like you're just kind of like, God, this is, I hate to say perfect, but it is. And the author does mention in the beginning that she has had these issues, mental health issues in the past. And she wrote Win's character like based off of those struggles. Not that this story happened to her,
just a reflection of
yes, the mindset and everything that you're in when you're in that dark place, kind of how you think, how the decisions you make, blah blah blah. It was all based on like that she could relate to the character in that way because she has had her own struggles, but apparently she is well now. So I'm
sure writing has probably helped.
Yeah, and you could tell she's been there. I've read stories where the person, you can tell if the person writing it has been there or not, if you've been there yourself, right?
Right.
I've had issues, so when I read it, I'm like, yes. Like, I get it. It's not just like, some people don't understand because they've never been there and they just think it's sad, depressed, and dreary and dark and there's nothing else. There's so much that goes into it. It's so
there is
a deep
there is
thing.
Yeah.
So Win was written beautifully. And there's two male characters that are main male characters, sorry, in the book, and they were also written very well. Their stories are heartbreaking. This book made me cry. Which is such of a rare thing for me. I wasn't like, some people read this and they just, and I get that. I can get how it can really make you bawl, but
yeah.
I did shed some tears. I was like in bed reading, and my husband was sleeping, and I'm trying to like, they're like falling, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm crying. And I knew it was coming because I felt like my tears coming, and my nose. I get this weird like hot nose.
Yeah, no, I think everyone. Yeah,
it's like the hot feeling at the top of your nose, and I'm like, oh no, and then they spilled. So it's not. How do I say this? I don't want to give anything away. It's not. The ending is not completely awful. If that, I don't want to give anything away. I guess it's not it's a happy ending, kind of.
So it's not a happily ever after, or it kind of is, but not.
Yeah, just read it. Okay? No, it's not. I don't want people to think like not read it because they think it's just going to be complete
dreary
devastation.
Yeah,
there's good in it. I'll say that in the ending.
Okay, is this it's just one book? It's not a series.
One book. Nope, it's a standalone, and it's only $2.92. $2.92 is, it's not bad.
That's pretty average.
It's worth it. It's worth it. I gave it 4 stars because, so I've been telling you, I've been letting books simmer.
Mm-hmm.
This one I let simmer for a couple days because there was some things that I was like they get room together. I don't care how unorthodox a place is. That's really weird. I'm a man and a woman getting room together in a mental institution.
Especially
a lot of times, they don't want you to form relationships
bonds
like that because you can both end up just in a really dark place together. So there is a little bit of stuff like that. I get why they did it. When you read the book, it's like, okay, they kind of did that on purpose, but obviously, but there's a couple of things like that, right, which made me kind of like go back and forth. But it was just I thought about it a lot. It made me cry, and Wynn was written so well. Like, oh my goodness. I couldn't give it less than 4, even with the things that I thought were kind of it was just written so well. She's a newer, and this book was really good. So I gave it 4 stars, 3.5 spice, and it is pretty spicy. Yes. And 1 eye roll. I was gonna
say, I saw that. I'm like, wait.
Yeah, it's but it's not. I mean, she's rooming with that dude, so I mean.
Oh, so they have alone time.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah. So, I only recommend this, and I do recommend this, but only if you can handle trauma and are able to read a book with extremely heavy topics and be okay.
Be able to like disassociate yourself from it.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. She even writes in the beginning about like it does romanticize like people with mental issues, and she goes, it's not a good thing. She there's a big disclaimer in the beginning of the book, so she did well with that. It was beautifully written, and I enjoyed it.
I'm gonna add it to my TBR, but I'm probably gonna let it like a couple of months go by before I do it because I hate when it's like boom boom, when we read it to each other.
Yeah, but I do want you to read it because I want to know what you think.
Yeah,
yeah, it's good.
It's on my TBR.
It's heavy, but it's good.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So like I said earlier, I did read 3 and 4 of the Saint of Steel series. This one is Paladin's Faith by T. Kingfisher, obviously. 446 pages. Like, so
Ooh.
146 more pages than the last one. And spoiler alert, I did feel these pages, I should say, because I started reading it on the 14th of January, and I didn't end it until the 25th. So it took me like 11 days to actually finish. So,
yeah.
So this book follows Marguerite, which you will remember from the first book.
I liked her.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
I will get into that. It's fine.
No.
She is on the run from a former employer who wants her dead, and Shane, a paladin who has lost his god and his purpose. He is, again, one of the paladins of the Satan of Steel. But even deeper so, he was once supposed to be a paladin of the Dreaming God. The Dreaming God never came for him, so he has double trauma of not being not feeling enough for two gods. They are after a brilliant artificer who has invented a device that could change the world, but also attracts the attention of a dangerous cult. Along the way, they have to deal with glittering and hairless court, someone who is demon-possessed, and their growing attraction to each other. So, I did enjoy Marguerite in the first book, Paladin's Grace. But as a main character, I had a hard time connecting with her because she is this overly confident character. She's got big old titties. And she's so small.
Of course she is.
Yeah, so and she can't even do a push-up because her boobies are so big. So like I just I didn't, and of course like I don't want this to come across again as like me being, I don't know, like butthurt over not having big boobs, but like, or not being tiny. But this is a book for someone, right? Like someone can connect with that. I can't because I'm not the most confident person, but also like
it's just when you don't have those things in common.
Right. So I actually did like connect more with Piper in the last book, who is the Lich Doctor, instead of Marguerite in this book. Or like Shane, because Shane is like, so like there's a point where he's like, is there a word for guilt when you don't feel guilty enough? I'm like, oh shit. Me. Hashtag me. But again, like there's always that Kingfisher cleverness of like the creatures she doesn't create them, but she uses them, I should say. Like there's land wights, there's these things that like it's basically the earth will eat you, which is pretty cool. There's like this demon that I found really cool. And like I really actually liked the last 40% of the book a whole lot more than the rest of it. I thought that the last 40% was like I want to know more about that, basically.
Right. Okay.
You do get like a little sprinkle of what. So the last book, Paladin's Hope, you get the last sentence is like an oh shit moment. So that's what made me want to read book 4, because I was like, oh shit, this thing happened, so it's got to be resolved in the next book. It's not, but you do get like a little sprinkling of like what may have happened.
Okay, is this the last book?
No, there's going to be 3 more.
Oh shit.
Also, I should mention that, okay, so this is the Saint of Steel series. I believe she has set up that it'll be a series of 7 books. There are 2 other books called the Clocktar War, Clockwork Boys, Clocktar War number 1, and the Wonder Engine Clocktar War number 2. It takes part in the world of the White Rat. And then also there is one that's called Sword Heart that also takes place in the world of the White Rat. So there's at least 6 more books.
This is the longest. Has she ever written a series?
You know what? I don't think so. I think this is because
that's a big series to start with. I mean, she's great. She could do it. We all know she
absolutely.
Can, but like, damn, that's awesome though.
I know. So I'm, like I said, there's so many books. So at some point I'm going to try to get through all of them, but I don't want to be like boom, 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 boom of.
Well, yeah, you don't want to get burnt out either.
Exactly.
I mean, it would be hard to do that with her, but yeah, just putting stuff in between. just break it up a little bit. Keep the anticipation going, like seasons in a show.
Exactly, right?
Yeah, I got you.
And then one thing I do want to point out is that T. Kingfisher is really good at the dual POV. You know how like in some of the books that we read, it's like chapter 1 is the girl, and then chapter 2 is the dude, and then
yeah.
She doesn't do that whatsoever. It just kind of like warps into what the other character is thinking, and I think that it sounds confusing when I say it, because I'm not, the most like
how to explain it to where,
but I think that's really clever way of it being done.
She's like brilliant, and you can tell, but her books are pretentious in any way, shape, or form.
Exactly.
So that's a good thing to have, because most people who are brilliant, their books are pretentious.
Right.
And then she can write it in a way to where it's still brilliant without being pretentious. And it's like, how do you do it? She's special.
Yeah, she's special. She's a unicorn.
Yeah, she is. She really is.
So I gave it 3.5 stars. 1 spice, because like I said, a lot of her books do like center around the plot of the story instead of the spice of the story, which I also appreciate, because I mean, there's a time and place for like, it's basically just erotica, right? Is the like super...
and sometimes you just want to read something different, because it's a lot of hype around like the spicy things, which I like, but yeah, it's a nice little break.
Exactly. Just one eye roll, which is the first eye roll I think I've ever given T. Kingfisher.
So with the girl, I'm so sad because I really liked Marguerite, but is it like mentioned often, or is it just like a one-time thing?
No, it's mentioned enough that it's annoying. Yeah. See,
I can read it. Cool. I get it now. I'm envisioning it. Thank you. But like yeah, when it keeps doing it, that gets a little old for me.
Well, and I can understand that, like, okay, so obviously this is a paladin, so there's combat that's going to happen, and boobies are probably going to get in the way. Cool, whatever. But like, outside of that, maybe not so much.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's one eye roll.
This one. It's fine. I would still recommend reading it. Like, absolutely. My favorite book of T. Kingfisher's is probably A Paladin's Grace, and then The Hollow Places.
Yeah. But yeah, The Paladin's Grace was really good. I think that's like my third, though.
What's your second one, then?
A House with Good Bones. I freaking love that book. I love that goddamn book.
It's hard to like... We need to make like a tier list or something.
Yeah,
just T. Kingfisher books.
T. Kingfisher books.
Yeah,
she's incredible though. She is.
I know.
But I really did like A House with Good Bones. I know. If she only knew.
I know, she should.
She only knew.
that one TikTok that I sent you, just like, I'm actually friends with her. I'm like, oh,
I saw that. Oh, are you?
Are you living my dream?
How is it?
Yeah.
How is it?
Must be nice.
Yes. Is it nice? Good. Tell her I said hi.
Talking about which, what are you currently reading?
I'm reading What Moves the Dead.
Yeah.
By T. Kingfisher. And it's really good so far. I'm loving it. She's just, I don't know. She's special.
She is. She's
like, I read the book and I'm like, even when I'm like middle of it through it, it's like right now I'm reading it, right? And it's been so good, and I know that, like, I'm reading it, I'm like, God, yeah.
You almost have to, like,
but then when I talk about it, I get even more excited.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, it's so, yeah, and she just, please read her stuff. You will get it. You will understand.
Well, and the reason...
what are you... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
The reason why you're reading What Moves the Dead is because our book club book for February is going to be... What is it called? What Feasts at Night.
What Feasts at Night.
By her.
And it's part 2.
Part 2. So if you haven't read What Moves the Dead yet, please go ahead and do that as soon as possible. You do have until the end of February, which this year is a leap year. Fun fact.
I saw that.
Yeah, so you have until February 29th to read both of them.
And the other one's how long? Oh boy, I'm trying to go back to it. Because it's not that long.
Yeah.
So What Moves the Dead is only 176 pages.
Oh, so together they're like...
Yeah,
maybe 400
I'm probably going to
pages.
finish that. Yeah. I'm going to probably finish that tonight.
Nice. I am currently reading Frostbitten, which was my Cringe KU.
How is it?
You know, I got like a chapter in and I'm like, yeah, this fits.
No.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fun.
They're so fun.
I know. I love Cringe KU.
I'm gonna start researching this week.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do research and find you a Valentine's, like a corny.
I was gonna say, are we gonna do Valentine? Imagine we do the same one.
Oh my god. We're gonna do a Valentine's one, and then we could do like a oh my god, like St. Patrick's Day. We can find like some like leprechaun one.
I'm sure there is.
Hell yeah, there is.
There has to be.
Yeah, I'm gonna find what if we did do the same one? And we don't reveal it now. Just so our listeners know, we don't reveal this shit to each other. No. Like we have a script and we leave that part blank.
We do, yeah,
because we reveal each other live because it's funny
it's
and
hilarious.
The reactions are always wonderful. So that would be funny. I think it will happen eventually.
I'm sure it will.
Yeah,
I mean, shit. Look at our decor. Look at the books we choose.
I know. Kindred spirits.
I know.
Kindred cats.
Kindred cats. Okay.
Jeez. So yeah, we're gonna be reading What Feast at Night.
Yes.
It is not a KU book. It will be. Yeah. I'm gonna purchase it on my Kindle. So yeah, you have to buy that bad boy if you want to read it with us. Listen to it, audiobook or whatever. I don't know if the audiobook will be out the same day.
It should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read it, so yeah. But yeah. Yeah. I don't know why I did this.
I love it.
Anyway.
We get goofy at the end.
I know. It's funny. Okay. Thank you all for listening to us today. Be sure to check us out on socials, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, which, by the way...
Yay!
How many followers do we have?
We have 400 as of today.
Woo!
I know. As of like 20 minutes ago, I checked.
And it's so exciting.
I know. I love it.
And then I like go through and it's like calling all TikTokers are 10,000. I'm like, I'm happy with my freaking 400.
I know.
So calm down.
Our friends. You know, I want to say that too while we're speaking about TikTok is that like I see all of the friends that we do have and I love it. They're like such like a little community of like they're buying each other books. They're like chatting. I love that. Like we gotta infiltrate.
Yeah, for sure. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. Yes. So yeah, that's exciting. Any books we discussed will be on our website, and sign up for our newsletter if you want to stay up to date with our releases. I can't talk.
It's fine.
Right, sorry.
We're almost done.
Okay.
If there's anything else you'd like to see from us, please let us know. And finally, if you're a fan of the podcast and want to show us some love, please subscribe and share it with everyone you know.
That's all for today. I'm your co-host, Stephanie.
And I'm Bekk.
And this has been Novelty with S&B. See you in the next chapter. And stay tuned.
Yes.
Don't leave yet. If you want some spoiler full discussion on the Ever King.
Okay, so I am curious about what you were talking about when you said that you were surprised at one event. What was the event?
Yeah, so this series is going to be what, 3 books? I think? And they're long.
Mm-hmm.
So why did he have to like give her the position of the queen so quickly?
Yeah,
with everything going on in the world, that could have been. I thought that was very abrupt. Like, you're the queen. I was like, no. Like, I think that, and maybe they're doing that to stir up some more drama sooner, I guess. But I think that could have been.
I think at least at the very end of the book, right? Where like people are coming after them, like shit is happening, like, oh, I need to secure my place. Let's put her in place instead of.
It was a little random. Yeah. And the only thing I'm having an issue with, and it may just be because I'm just not right. But so is their connection a spell?
Okay, so part of the other series, there's this thing, I forget how to pronounce this, like a Hajara or something. where
Yeah.
you are bonded with your beloved, basically. Like, you develop such a deep bond with your other person that your hearts are the same. So I think she was trying to put that across in this book, but because you don't have because you can read it as a standalone, but it would have been important to put that part in there as far as like, because once you find your love, you're stuck. You're loved.
But that necklace had nothing to do with it. Or not the necklace. What did he call it? His shit.
Token? No,
it wasn't a token. Begin with the S. Oh shit. His. It's like oh my god, it's like there.
I know, it's just on the tippy tongue.
His thingy?
Yeah, the thing that she shatters.
Yes. Is that like not?
I think
that's all for not.
I think it has a place where it's supposed to make him stronger, but only if he actually does love her the way that a husband is supposed to love a wife. Because
okay.
So it strengthens the bond instead of like it being the only reason there is a bond.
Okay. So that I get. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was a little confused because when his mom or his grandma,
yeah.
Yeah, when she's like revealing all of that, I'm like, wait,
hold on.
And I wanted to make sure. I mean, I was like, okay, I just wanted to make sure I was interpreting everything I was reading correctly.
To be fair, that is part of the reason why I said things were confusing, is because unless you went back and you read the other ones and you know that like these bonds exist, that part is very confusing.
That was the only part. I mean, everything else, like, cool. That part, I was like, oh.
I was confused about why he made her think that it was her dad that created all of this when, like, it created like a rift between them that didn't need to happen.
That wasn't necessary.
Yeah, like, she didn't have to hate him, like, ever.
No.
Like, and, like, I understood why he took her, because she... Again, the word that we can't think of right now, but
yeah, the thing
that made her be able to open the gate, the ever or whatever.
Yeah,
but then like, what's the point of making her think that her family tortured him when she knows for a fact that they wouldn't have? And maybe it was somebody else, but
because he wanted her to
go
stay
back anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. That was kind of weird because, yeah, when it all gets revealed, you're like, oh.
The whole time.
But there is another book, and I wonder, sometimes, I'm not saying always, but they might get more into that.
Yeah, they might, yeah.
Maybe. I mean, that'd be kind of going backwards, but.
I'm trying to think of, like, how, because the other one is a set of 3 too, and I'm trying to think of how it was split up, because I don't think they got together right away. I think even the end, like the last book, there was like almost no spice, I want to say. But I could be wrong. Like this, I was surprised after learning that this was a continuation of that story. I was surprised how much spice was actually in this. And can we just point out the spice? And how good it was. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm like, girl. I was like in bed, like,
clenching those thighs together. TMI.
Damn. I mean, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
That she could write that spice. Boy, I was reading it like, and then oh my gosh, and then it was like, the masquerade. Holy.
I
Jesus.
know. I remember I asked you, hey, did you get to the ball yet?
I'm like, no, not yet. And you're like, okay.
I just sent you the eyeballs.
Reading it. Our favorite.
I know.
Our favorite to send to each other. The freaking sign.
We need to make stickers of that too.
Oh, we should. But oh my god, like we were there, like or I was there. I'm reading, I'm like,
oh, here's the ball.
What's gonna happen? And then I'm like,
oh shit.
Oh, and then I'm like, no, wait, but this is good. It was written really well.
It was.
I loved that book. I really did. I there was a little couple things where I was like, huh. But overall, yeah, I gave it 4 stars because I just thinking about it right now. Yeah. Like I was into it. I was really into it. Like I was
And
excited to read the next page. I'm excited for the Everqueen. I think it comes out tomorrow.
yeah,
actually. Yeah. So yeah, for sure, dude. I really liked it.
next month it's gonna be the Everqueen.
The Everqueen.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think I will read it before the end of next. I know I will. Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed it. I liked. See, this is why I think maybe the Crowns and Iaxia I should have given it 5 because I already know I like that one more.
I have a hard time with rating because like
maybe 4.5.
Yeah.
I feel like 5 should like change something.
5 should be like really, earth shattering.
The only thing I can say, and I think the reason why I'm so partial to that is just because that's kind of what got me into like.
Yeah, it's like your little like.
I read some fantasy, but that was like a big, like that was a lot of fantasy because the 2 novels were pretty long, and I think that's what really got me like
hooked.
My brain going, oh my god, I really like this, and at fantasy, and I think maybe that's why it's like special for me.
Probably, yeah.
But yeah. But I liked the Everking a lot. I did.
I was surprised with it being pirates because I don't. I think I read or tried to read the one by what's her face. Oh my goodness! This is another.
My brains aren't cooperating today.
It's not.
I couldn't even read. I can't even read. I'll read tonight though.
Yeah, I will too. Where is it? Oh,
is it a pirate? Is it a pirate book?
It's a pirate book, and it came out recently. And I think maybe I just feel a little bitter on it because I'm waiting for the Underworld Gods #3 to come out, and she came out with this instead. So maybe that's why. I'm like,
you're just mad.
God damn it! Why would you do this to me?
I didn't think I would enjoy pirate things.
Me neither.
It was so cool how they like dive. And the ship dives and just the way he was explaining all that.
Yeah, I think
the way they were it was cool, man.
The they call it fury in like it's not magic, it's fury. I think the way that she does that is amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Like so her magic systems are very unique. Which is cool.
They are. Yeah, it's nice seeing it's like refreshing, like not something that's just typical.
Exactly.
Yeah, I really like I was surprised. I was like reading about even the like were they like mermaids, but they weren't pretty.
Well,
they were like scary. But you know, typically,
well, actually, yeah. They're so
yeah, no, I know they're not
supposed to be, yeah.
Yeah, but in movies and shit, you always see them as like these beautiful creatures, and I like that this
not
was
in
more
Harry Potter
on par with like I've never pottered. So
it's called A Ship of Bones and Teeth, by the way, the one that I was thinking of. It's by Karina Hale.
Yes.
Yeah,
I have seen a lot of things on that, but I haven't.
She also wrote a Headless Horseman, which I'm like, can you just finish the Underworld Gods for me, please?
What's that? What's the first one called in that?
Of what?
Oh wait, what's the series you're talking about?
The Underworld Gods. It is the first one is God of Death. Well, I guess that's 0.5. Book 1 is River of Shadows. Book 2 is Crown of Crimson. Book 3 is supposed to be City of Darkness. It has the date has extended multiple times. Like originally it was like November, then it was December.
And you're writing these other shits. Like, dude, and you're like, what the hell?
Please.
So that's really good.
Yeah. I really like it's the one with the Finnish God of the Dead, Tuoni.
Oh.
Yeah, that I really liked that one.
Ooh. Maybe I'll give it a whirl.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I can't really get into the rest of her books. The dude is always just too much, and the girl is always like, I don't know,
no.
I work out, I'm a badass, I wear leathers and like all this. I'm like, dude, like
but you need to know how it ends.
Yeah, dude. I got it.
That was like me with that one, the Bonds at Tie series, and I fucking got. I've never been so angry.
Slammed it shut.
I was so pissed,
dude. I would have been too. You told me about it later on. I'm like, yeah, dude, absolutely.
You ruined everything with that. It cannot be redeemed. It cannot be don't even get me started again. I get upset thinking about it because I gave a lot of time and energy and dedication to
because
that
at
damn
that
series.
point it's a waste of your time, right? Like,
and that series was very okay. Like, and I think that's another reason why with The Court That's Cruel and Lovely, why I'm like, do I really want to? Because I was let down before, and I don't want that to happen again.
Right. Yes.
But The Ever King, I have to read the next one.
Yeah.
That one was more for me.
Mm-hmm.
It spoke to me a little bit more. So, you know.
Eric.
And Bloods.
Oh.
I love Eric.
I know.
I'll have another book of him.
Kicking our feet.
Yeah. What you thinking about? Eric Bloodsay. Anyways.
Austin Matthews.
Were you checking him out today?
Yeah, dude. His little like post goals celebration always just. Oh.
Yeah, they'll be all over TikTok, and then I get them because I send them to you, and so now it's like my algorithm. I'm like, should be her algorithm, but it's fine.
But I get goalies, so then I send them to you.
Yeah, and then you send me the goalies, so it works out. Okay, well, now we're getting like way off topic. I don't even know if this is going to be included. But let us know what you thought of The Ever King. If you read it, leave us comments, email, whatever. Let us know. Mm-hmm. All the things. Let us know if you want to read the next one too.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna. So
I probably will too.
Yeah. Just not as quick as me.
Exactly. Well, because I don't like to.
I mean, I'll let you know, and then I can let you know.
Yeah.
If it's worth it. So yeah.
Can you work it?
It works out. Put your thing down, flip it.
And reverse it. Thank you for getting that. And
I'm not doing the rest
all.
It's like backward speaks. Sorry. Yeah. It's your nation.
Thank you all for participating in this after show spoiler full fun. We hope to see you in the next one.
Yeah, see you in the next chapter.
Bye-bye.